Minasan, okari nasai. Today we have the red petal within the greater iris flower, also like the shortest Seiyuu I'm aware of. Yuki Wakai, born October 30th, 1995 in the Gifu Prefecture. Hey, someone else from Gifu, shoutouts to Riko Kohara. Yuki is currently affiliated with 81 Produce, so this video will mostly contain me talking about her music with Iris, so get used to me saying the group's name, since it was her main source of income for many years, but she does have quite a few anime roles that I will be going over. Unfortunately, I can't find any information about her origin story aside from the fact that she has been singing in competitions since she was at least 13 years old. So, with that, we're going to jump straight into her career. In 2012, she was one of the founding members of the pop group Iris. Also, she is my favorite member of the unit. Naturally, not long after, their first single, Color, was released, and was the ending theme for Battle Spirit's Sword Eyes. But also, as a solo singer, she sang the second ending for Kingdom. 2013, Iris' second single, Ichizu, the ending theme of Mushi Bugyo, their third single, Rainbow, which was the second ending of Pretty Rhythm Rainbow Live, and their fourth single, Fantasia Wonderland, which doesn't seem to be anime related at all. But again, as a solo performer, she sang the second ending for Gifu Dodo. In 2014, Iris had their fifth single, Itazura Tayo, the second ending for Battle Spirit's 7th season. Then their 6th single, Make It, which is also the first opening of Prepara, and I feel like this is arguably their most popular song to this day. Speaking of Prepara, this is where she made her anime debut as Reona West, one of the 12 leads in Prepara along with her fellow Iris ladies. She had one other role this year as well, Sachiko Yamanoshita, in the series Hana Yamata, having an insert song performance as well. Iris then had their 7th single, Miracle Paradise, which was the second opening for Prepara. They also had a song called Next Stage, the opening for Alice in Borderland, the anime version. In 2015, Iris had their first album, We Are Iris, which had all those songs I mentioned prior to this, but also their song Realize, which is their 8th single and the third opening of Prepara. They also had the songs Dream Parade and Bright Fantasy, which came out later in the year, and was their 9th and 10th singles, as well as the 4th and 5th openings of Prepara, which I am not going to repeat anymore. You can just assume the Iris songs are all Prepara songs unless I say otherwise. They also sang the ending of a show called Hunt's Trash, their song Hachamecha Strike. There were also 2 Prepara movies this year that Yuki would voice her character in. On to 2016, This Is Iris was released, their second album, featuring those 4th and 5th openings I mentioned earlier, along with their 11th single, Going On, and their 12th single, Ready Smile. And of course they had a 13th single this year, Recall, which was the second opening for Twin Star Exorcist. Hey, they're branching out of Prepara. Nice. But while I'm talking about this show, she voiced the character Suzu. Later, she, along with the rest of Iris, released the 14th single, Grow and Jewel, which was actually a Prepara ending rather than an opening. The Prepara Musical Collection album came out, and as you can imagine, Iris was heavily featured on this. And now we actually have something new for her, a new group. This was the year she debuted into D Selections. This was with her fellow Iris member Azuki Shibuya and 2 Wake Up Girls members. Their debut single, Blood Red, was released in May, and the opening for the show, 100. She even had another anime role too, main character Mitan, in the series I've Had Enough of Being a Magical Girl. Great title, I really wonder what this show is about. The final thing for this year, in March, at the 10th Seiyuu Awards, she won the Best Musical Award with the other Iris members. 2017, 1 Iris song, Shining Star, and 1 D-Selection song, Lay on the Line, the ending theme of Kakegururi. She also voices Itsuki Sumeragi in this series. She sang the 11th ending theme of Akiba's Trip with Iris, also being featured on Akiba's collection album, and being heavily featured in the Prepara Star Live song collection. But as for a new Iris album, their third, Wonderful Palette, was released, featuring the 4 singles that came out since their last album. And for anime roles, she voiced both Paku and Suzu in Idle Time Prepara, the sequel to Prepara. 2018, 2 new Iris songs, Memorial and A Changing Point, the latter being the opening for Magical Girl Sight, a Madoka Magica clone but like even edgier. She voiced Olga Suguri in Beatless and Sara Midorikawa in Kirito Prichan, along with all the other Iris girls. Again, this show even had a crossover movie with Prepara. I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were actually the same show prior to this, and now I kind of want to binge both of these franchises to learn more about them. 2019, we got 3 new Iris songs. Endless Notes, the ending for Grimm's Note the Animation, Ultimate Magic, the opening for Wise Man's Grandchild, and Fantastic Illusion, the opening for Magical Senpai. Watch this music video. You will love it. I promise. But also 1 D Selection song, Allegria, the ending for Season 2 of Kakegururi. Now you already know she's in the compulsive gambling show, but back to Wise Man's Grandchild, she voiced Maria von Messina. Also Yurari Sayanoji in the King of Prison movie, Shiny 7 Stars. 2 more roles as well, Raichi in Sherlock of Kabukicho, and Mai Tadakusa in Yatogame-chan. She also had her first solo concert in October. 2020, Iris had their 4th album, Shall We Carnival, featuring the 5 most recent singles, 2 minor supporting roles in 2 very good shows. The first being Marie in Great Pretender, really recommend this show, and Iroha in Love Live Nijigasaki School Idol Club. 2021, supporting role Kanan Kano in the short series Teach Me Hokusa, and main role Naoko Naruse in the slice of life show Let's Make a Mug Too. I guess not all anime titles are made equally. This was also the year she debuted as a solo artist under the name Yuki, taking a page out of Aimi's book, I see, with her song No More. Then she had a solo concert in October. This year of 2022, Iris's song Queen's Bluff came out, like recently, very recently, and was the ending theme of Season 3 of Kakegururi, which if you're keeping track, and I doubt you are, so I'll just tell you, Yuki has sang every ending theme of this show, 2 with deselections and now 1 with Iris. Her only role is in a currently airing show, Hikari Jokasaki, in Teppen. So far, she has already released 3 more singles this year, YOLO, Lenaria, and Beautiful Sky. I feel I should mention she has had about 6 or more Blu-ray releases of the Iris concerts, 1 for each year, but I would assume no concerts happened in 2020, so I doubt there was a Blu-ray for the following year. She, along with the other Iris girls, have performed at the Anisama Music Festival many times throughout the years. Every year since around 2015, I believe, also having some of the best crossovers at the event. Shoutouts to their most recent appearance with Mikiha from Spira Spica and Miyu Takagi from Piki Piki. Over the years, she has voiced many one-episode characters in quite a few good shows. Shows like Black Clover, Blend S, Fruits Basket, Gate, and Love Live Sunshine. You won't find those listed on my anime list, however, since they are so minor. But for the full list, you can check her Anime News Network page. The only 2 video game roles I could find were Mogi in Mobius Final Fantasy, and Takami Yanase in a game called Cho Ginga Senden Infinity. With my limited Japanese knowledge, I know that Cho means super and Ginga means galaxy, so I'm assuming this is a space mecha game. And that is it for her resume. It is time for the fun facts. As I said in the intro, Yuki is one of the smallest Seiyuu I have ever seen, being 145 centimeters or 4'9". That's the same height as Aoi Yuki. Funny that they have the same name. Sometime last year, she sang the Fate Zero opening on Airi Suzuki and Masayoshi Oishi's YouTube show. Well, it's not actually a YouTube show, but they post it to YouTube after it airs. She is actually a massive fan of Lisa, who originally sings that song, and this will of course be linked down below. She says that her charm point is her front teeth. I feel like no other girl would ever say that. She was also the first one within Iris to debut as a solo artist. And she claims it is thanks to Iris that she is now able to express herself through dance. Her favorite anime is One Piece, with that first opening being her favorite anime song. A performance of Iris singing We Are will be linked down below. And I mean, she was already my favorite member, but now she might just have to become my wife. Pokemon is another one of her favorite series, with some of her favorite mons being the evolutions, specifically Umbreon. Aside from the lovely singing, she is very skillful at playing piano and guitar, which she posts a lot on her TikTok. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't like toads, but I could be wrong. Final fact is that she voices the protagonist Kaide in an original short anime She Sings As If It Were Destiny. This is under her artist name Yuki. She wrote, composed, and sang the anime's theme song, but for some reason the video of the short episode seems to have been taken down. And well, that's kind of just an abrupt ending, so yeah, we're at the ending. Please join me in the next one, where I will talk about the heavy group within the D4DJ franchise.